or you like you have these people, like, have a connection with these people, the police, the local vigilante group, the army, and the local rulers, and also the community people, the neighbors, the people that live around your land. I think you're good, you're safe. If there is any impending disaster, they're gonna let you know. They're gonna protect you. You know what? These people, they know themselves. They even know the criminals among the community, and they will pass information to them. Don't touch this person. She's an asset to our community. Hi YouTube fam, welcome to today's video. 2 weeks later, but better late than never. Yeah, I've been busy as usual. I'm always busy, and that's what happens when you're running a business by yourself. I have no helper. I have no permanent worker at the moment, so I have to do everything by myself, and it can be very tasking and challenging. Anyway, so I thought to record a new video today, but bear with me. I would be narrating my story or whatever I'm doing while I'm making my pattern, while I'm working. Okay, so for today's video, I wanted to talk about how you can, against all odds, succeed with your farming. How you can, in spite of the security challenges in Nigeria, it's normal for people to have fear. When you're constantly hearing in the news, stories of people being kidnapped, or clashes, tribal clashes, or clashes with the headsmen. It's when you hear such kind of news, it's normal for you to be like, to want to chicken out, because obviously, yeah, nobody wants to like be faced with such kind of situation. But you know what? That is the intention of people that don't want you to succeed, to not want to continue with your dream. So these things are there to intimidate you, to make you give up on your dream. Now, you shouldn't give up on your dream when there's all these issues, but at the same time, you have to take care to protect yourself. So in today's video, I want to talk about things you need to put in place to just, be sure that you're safe while you're going about securing your future as a farmer. And unfortunately, there's been a lot of tension in the eastern part of Nigeria, and that is where I have the farm. That's where I have my farmland. And I think the people in the west, like Lagos, they're quite lucky because there's not too much of those issues there. They have their own fair share of problems, security-wise, but I think it's getting worse and worse in the east. Like every day you wake up to a news of someone, that has been kidnapped, or, they're asking for ransom. And it is scary, quite honestly. But there are ways for you to be able to continue your dream without giving up, without living in fear, because fear is a greater killer than what you are afraid of. So, if, for example, you already have your farmland in the east, like I do, it is not safe to have a farmland that is exposed. I mean, there's no fence to it. I think one of the first things that you need to do once you acquire your farmland is to put a proper fencing. And when I say proper fencing, I mean like a brick and mortar fencing. Some people, maybe they want to do like mesh wire, or some people, they use tree markers, so they plant trees around their land. It's not 100% safe because it's not completely sealed. It's expensive, but you know what you want. Like, you want to make sure your land is secure and your livestock or whatever, even you yourself and your worker, so that while you're working in your land, there's no fear of someone just barging in. So investing in fencing your land, the entire portion of your land, with bricks and a quite reasonable height of fence. I don't know what is the standard height in Nigeria. Maybe about, would it be about 3 feet or 4 feet? I don't know, but something along that line. And once it's fenced, you secure it with a nice strong gate. That is one thing out of the way. Now okay, the issue now is how you can be able to safely move around the road to get to your farmland. Now, when you're in your farmland, if it's fenced, you're safe now. Okay. You can also go extra mile by installing cameras. I know it's expensive, but you have to do what you have to do, to protect yourself. It's better for you to spend this money to protect yourself than have to deal with the after effect of, problems, danger, kidnapping. So you do the fencing, you fence the entire portion of your land, you secure it with a gate, install a few security cameras where you can monitor like movement live. So the security camera, you can install it on a pole, because like those electric poles, so that it's high enough that people cannot access it, they can't reach to it to block it. It's high enough and it can see into far distance, so that when there's trouble brewing, you're aware of it on time, so you can start to plot your exit move or exit strategy. Okay, so that's number 2, which is the security camera, which needs to be mounted on a tall pole, not on your fence, because once people spot that there's a camera there, they could cover it up, they could destroy it, but you have to put it out of reach of people in a way that people are not aware that it is there. That is for your own safety. That is also for you to know who your enemies are, because you can see them, they can't see you. So that you know what the next move, you should be like one step ahead of your enemies. Like, see, I don't believe in all these things where people put cameras and then they put a note saying there's a camera here. Like, what's that? Like, when people know when they've read that there's a camera here, they're gonna find another way to do what they want to do. They'll find a spot where the camera can't see them and they still commit whatever blunder they want to commit. You put the camera like a big brother, they don't know it's watching them, so you can see them for their true character. Also, for your workers, you need to be able to observe your workers. So I think you need to invest in one of those 360-degree cameras sensor that they get activated when there's movement, and it goes around just capturing everything outside and inside. Maybe a few of it in a few poles. Now the next thing is you need to have connection. You can't afford to be in Nigeria running a farm and you don't have connection. You need to have connection with the people that matters, the security people, both the one managed by the government and the vigilante group. And how do you have the connection? You have to tip them. It is what it is. You need to I know like some people, they're like, oh, the police, they're corrupt, they're part of the problem. Like, how do you know it's not the police that send the criminals? But you can still try. You can still try. So you need to have some kind of connection with the security agencies in the region where your farm is, and make sure you have the contact details of the person on the top, not the subordinate, the person in charge, so that if there is danger, you have the direct line access to call them. And it doesn't come cheap, it doesn't come for free. And we're talking about your security and your life. So no amount is too much to pay for that. So once you have connection with the DPO or whoever is in charge of the region where your farm is, You also have to look for the local vigilante groups. You need to be familiar with them, they need to be familiar with you. You have to tip them as well. It could be something you do monthly, it could be something you do anytime you see them, you give them gifts. And that puts you in their book, in their good book. So they'll watch out for you. So even though they're part of the criminals, when they're doing their gang up, they're gonna say, don't touch that lady. Don't touch her. You can touch other people, but not that one. No, 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 no. Okay. That's one way to win the favor of these people. Yeah. So you have a contact of the DPO, you have a connection with the local vigilante, and you can go a step further by getting some connection with the people in the army. They're very respected in Nigeria, and when the army or the soldier is involved, like, people know, okay, this is serious. Like, the bad guys are not too scared of the police people, they're not too scared of the vigilante people, but the army, the soldiers, they're really scared of them. I think in order of hierarchy, they're more scared of the soldiers. The next is the vigilante, the local security people, and then on the bottom is the police people. So it's good to have connection with these three agencies. And you need to be familiar with the people around you. You also need to build some kind of connection with the people that live in the community. You might get to go visit and come with gifts to the king of the vicinity. If they have like a local ruler, you can go pay them a visit. You go bearing good gifts. You're trying to build a rapport with them. And what better way to start a rapport than to present gifts? Get them in your good books. Maybe pay them weekly visits and always go with gifts. Also get a connection, get a contact. Once you have these people in your good books, or you like you have these people, like, have a connection with these people, the police, the local vigilante group, the army, and the local rulers, and also the community people, the neighbors, the people that live around your land, I think you're good, you're safe. If there is any impending disaster, they're gonna let you know. They're gonna protect you. You know what? These people, they know themselves. They even know the criminals among the community, and they will pass information to them. Don't touch this person. She's an asset to our community. And if anyone touches you, they're gonna go all out and face that person. Okay, these are ways you can protect yourself. Times are getting very hard. Like, the country is not as safe as it used to be, and you have to go extra miles to make sure that you're operating safely. But taking extra miles doesn't mean you have to take a break. It doesn't mean you have to be discouraged. When times get tough, the tough gets moving. So it's not a way for you to give up. It's not a way for you to say, okay, I can't continue this dream anymore. Life is not meant to be easy. Life is a journey, and in the journey is not always smooth. You're always gonna face obstacles. There's no place where you can have it easy, and you just have to stand and fight through. Yeah, yeah, and do whatever you can to keep moving. And doesn't mean you move blindly. You need to protect yourself. You need to do everything possible to make sure you're operating in a safe place. And yeah, and you have to be very also vigilant. Don't be naive. You have to keep your ears to the ground and be very current with what is happening around. And also you have to put like an emergency plan in place, so that when something happens, what can you do to escape safely? And such kind of emergency plan might involve maybe building like an underground escape place, an underground house that is concealed. So worst case scenario, you just go on to the underground bunker and you can hide for the meantime. Or you can have like multiple gates in your land, especially if you have a big land. So if there's danger on one side, you can use the next gate to escape. And these are the plans that you need to draw up before you actually start operating your farm. So it's your emergency plan. And you need to have a motorbike. I think it's very essential for anyone who is operating a farm, like in a rural area, a countryside, to learn how to drive a motorbike, a motorcycle, because that can move in any terrain. If there is danger and you need to run really fast, a motorbike would take you zoom. Like you can go on any path. With a car, there are certain paths you can't go on, but with a motorbike, I believe you can wrangle your way through a forest with a motorbike. So that is another strategy. Once you have all those connections with those people that I mentioned earlier, you need to have your exit strategy, your emergency exit strategy, and you need to maybe buy a motorcycle. That's what they call it, right? Motorbike. And keep that. It shouldn't be something that you use on a regular, but you need to make sure it is working. So that means you have to constantly service it. You just put it as part of your emergency plan, your exit plan. So once the scenario is not looking too good, you jump on the bike, you find the next door, because there can't be danger on all a part of your land. And you should have your secret door. Your secret door, no one should know there's a door there. So you should have multiple gates around your farm, and it should be leading towards different communities. And make sure the gates you have, maybe one road for the first gate doesn't link to the other gate, such that when you go out through one gate, you're going towards a different community. And some of the gates should be concealed. There should be the one that people know there's a gate, and there should be one that people don't know. So it's a secret gate. And the secret gate should be part of your emergency exit in case if the need for it arise. Your motorbike should be near, it should be very handy, and then it should also be in a safe place where you can easily get to it and where people cannot have access to it to block it. Okay, it means it also needs to be in a concealed place, but at the same time it should be easily accessible to you, not to other people, so that when the issue arises, you're able to jump on the bike, zoom straight to your secret gate, and the gate should be a gate that can be easily opened. Yes, preferably with a remote. And the remote should not be dependent on electricity supply. It should be powered by solar. So the what gets the gate working should not be reliant on something that is not very reliable. Okay, so electricity in Nigeria, it's not very reliable. So people generate their own power most of the time. So if you're wanting something that you need for your emergency, you have to probably put it connected to something more reliable, like a solar. So yeah, your bike should be in a safe, easy, accessible place to you. Your gate should be only known to you, and it should be easy to open if you need to act fast. And you need to try out your strategies for escape before it really happens. And you need to time yourself. Like, if I need to leave this farm, how many seconds would I be able to drive this bike up to here? Every second matters. You should be able to say, okay, in 10 seconds, I'm mounting this bike and I drive straight to my secret door and I'm out of here. Look, it's better for your life to be preserved than for your property to be lost or your produce to be lost. So in situations like that, you don't need to think about what you're leaving behind. All you're just taking is your life, and then as long as there's life, there is hope. So when you've secured your life, you can always come back and secure your property. So, ladies and gentlemen, that is my strategies for how you can survive as a farmer in Nigeria in spite of the security challenges. And thanks for listening to my little strategy, and I hope that would help you in your journey to farming. Quitting is not an option. Giving up is not an option. When it gets tough, the tough gets going. I'll see you in my next video. Bye for now.